The exhibition is basically stories of 6 local South Asians, so from the area which is Hertfordshire, where we all live. And they're stories of second and third generation British South Asians. I think we all know that the first generation, when they arrived here, they had, their struggles and, from not speaking the language, integration, racism, all of that. And it's obviously important to document those stories, and hopefully I will at some point. But because I'm, kind of third generation here, I felt like we also had our own struggles. And I feel like sometimes those get ignored. And again, not to say that our parents' stories are not important, our grandparents' stories are not important, but ours are equally as important.
Big welcome to Holy Saviour Church, but more especially a huge welcome to this really super exhibition, Home is Where the Heart is. And I want to say that whatever your political affiliation might be, one thing that came out of that sort of period of relative political turmoil in British politics in recent weeks and months was that for the very first time we found ourselves with a Prime Minister of the United Kingdom of Indian origin. And whilst we may have been waiting for that a long time to happen, I think everyone I've spoken to since agrees that that in itself at least is something really very much to be celebrated. The post-World War II story of Hitchin, and especially of this part of Hitchin actually, is a story that has been shaped and a story that's been enriched by the contributions of those people who themselves or whose parents made that really bold and radical step of creating a new life for themselves here. And ever since, those families have been contributing so much to the social and to the economic and to the cultural life of our wonderful town. So this is something that we celebrate. There isn't much I want to say this evening, but except just a huge, huge thank you. Thank you to Mandeep and to Danny and to Ros and to Brian for bringing together this super exhibition. I hope it will be an informative and an educative opportunity for everybody who comes and sees it in the weeks ahead. Thanks very much.
And a huge heartfelt thank you to you all for coming here tonight. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mandeep Cornija, and I'm the producer of the exhibition on display here, Home is Where the Hert is. Home is Where the Hert is an exhibition including a documentary featuring the stories of 6 local British South Asians. The exhibition first launched in August this year and was displayed at North Hertfordshire Museum during South Asian Heritage Month. Due to an overwhelming response, the exhibition was extended by another week, and today I could not be more proud to be standing here in front of you all to launch the exhibition's second residency here at Holy Saviour Church. In the 1960s, many South Asians moved to the UK, and some, like my family, moved to Hitchin in the hopes of starting new lives. Their children and grandchildren, like myself, were first to be born and raised in this country, and in this exhibition, I wanted to explore how they shaped and navigated their hybrid identity as British Asians in Hertfordshire. I felt it was important to not only chronicle their experience of cultural conflict, but to also celebrate them. I'm hoping it will help people to understand what it feels like to be different, particularly in a world which can feel so divided. The exhibition could not have been possible without the participants. Usha Sidhu, sadly couldn't make it tonight. Sandy Figura, Callie Kelladals, Jordan Shergill, Robin Kaur, and Sylvia Gold. They have chosen to share their vulnerability in the hopes of inspiring others. If you get the opportunity to meet them tonight, please do offer your support with kindness and compassion. The static exhibition is being supported by a full documentary, which is available to watch on YouTube. If there's one thing that I'd ask you to ask from me today, is to please continue to support Red Media Love. If you have your phones with you right now, if you go onto YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, type Red Media Love and just give us a follow, share, it'd be really appreciated. I'd like to finish off by saying a very few important thank yous to both sets of parents again for arranging the food and the beers and the alcohol, thank you. The North Herts Community Grants Initiative and all of the councillors who approved the funding for this project. And last but definitely not least, I'd like to thank our amazing hosts, the staff and members of Holy Saviour Church. As you all know, the exhibition will be opening at set times, but what many of you don't know is that church members will be volunteering their time to open during these days to allow visitors access. This is such a fantastic opportunity to bring diverse communities of North Herts together, and I'm truly grateful for your generosity. Thank you. I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening, and I look forward to seeing you on the dance floor later. Thank you so much.
So, good evening everybody. So I'm Ros Allwood, and I have the lovely job of running the new North Hertfordshire Museum in Bradstreet. So at the museum we've been thinking for quite a while that we don't really represent the South Asian culture nearly as well as we should. And it was fantastic that Mandy came along just when we were having these kind of conversations amongst the staff, tiny staff team. And so we thought, yeah, that would be such a good thing to do, such a lovely project. And particularly now, South Asian History Month is a thing in itself every August. So, Mandy came along, we were just delighted, because museums have changed an awful lot. When I was little, and actually when I was actually not so little, museums were just places where old things were put in showcases just because they were old, and that was, when you were meant to come in and venerate them. But now, museums are all about stories, and we'll only take things into the museum if it tells a story, and if it tells a story that people want to hear about, or possibly don't want to hear about, in that museum's locality. So, as I say, stories are so important, and they're something that bind us all together. And so, although this exhibition, looks at some quite difficult things, really, and some things that are very pertinent to the South Asian community, actually, looking at the themes, and I've been thinking about it, of mental health, of physical ill health, of divorce, of falling out with your parents, and then coming back in with your parents, and the importance of family, actually, in many communities, and it's wonderful that the participants actually opened up, their kind of private selves to talk about these things, and then you read it, and it resonates with you. So, that's the kind of thing, that people don't really think museums are all about, but actually, it's something we are trying to do. And stories, human stories, are just so powerful. So fantastic to Mandy for getting this together. And we had over 3,345 people visit the museum while it was on. I can't say that they all went upstairs to see it, but many of them did. We know that. And so many people who'd seen the exhibition came down to our front desk and talked to the lovely ladies on the desk and said how moved they'd been, because there's a lot of poignant stories in there. And the kind of bits of horrid casual school children racism and things that we kind of really hope don't happen, but we know they do, and people have had hard times. But that overall, I think the feeling that does come out of it is a very positive story, positive about Hitchin particularly, and the power of the place, and positive about the importance of family, which is, and people from all over who saw that exhibition were really touched by it, and I'm sure they will be here as well. My husband who came up and said, "Oh, that seems such an important exhibition you've got up there. It's not that many panels, but it says so much." And I've heard that from other people. So thank you very much. Thank you all the participants, because without you, it wouldn't be a thing at all. But I think particularly thanks to Mandy. One more thing, I thought it was very kind of poignant that being remembered today, and so crucial in the poppies. Actually, my poppies in my coat, but the poppies, for the Sikh soldiers. So I thought that was actually another nice touch for today. Thank you.
So I'm really excited to be here, the Holy Saviour Church opening up for us. I mean, what we have in the North Hertfordshire Museum is amazing, and it's just really good to just keep that ball rolling, as it were. And I was just chatting to a few other people, and they're already asking what's next.
To be able to support this exhibition from North Herts Council, the Hitchin Committee agreed a grant, and to be able to show about our local community and the diversity of our local community and their experiences, and it's brilliant to bring this to life in the museum and here tonight at the church. So looking forward to more events.
Wonderful, so interesting, and it wasn't a glossy. It was real people telling us what it's actually like for them, which is wonderful. So I know how hard that must be, and it's just wonderful.
Because my sisters featured in it also, but it's very special. They're personal. They're stories, people's stories. So I've thought about stories, and we can connect to those stories. So it's very, very special.
Fantastic, really good. It's lovely to see the exhibition that was at the museum being reused here in another part of Hitchin for different people to come and have a look at it. So brilliant. Yeah, and we had thousands of people through, which was amazing. Wow. It was really, and people were just so, so taken with it and fascinated, and and quite, some of it was quite emotional, really. And like I said in my speech, everybody, a lot of the themes are actually very kind of universal in a way. But with a particular South Asian slant. People were really enjoying it, and we could, so we did. So it was 5 weeks, which and we had 3,430 or something like that came into the museum in that time. So we had another exhibition on downstairs, but so this would have pulled in some of the people. The exhibition downstairs would have pulled in some of the people. That was a family exhibition, so lots of families with children came in, and then they'd come upstairs and see other things, including this. So
I got involved because I volunteer at the museum.
Okay.
And I heard about the exhibition, and through the Friends organisation and my wife, who's a part of the congregation here, I thought, well, I can do this, I can put this up, it's not a problem. So we got the screens already, so it's just a put it together thing. So it's just a couple of evenings' work and job done.
Really, just we were approached, I think, through Brian and Danny. Mandeep kind of came to us and said that this exhibition had gone so well at the museum that they felt it might be benefited in actually moving to another part of the town. And of course, it's very appropriate for it to be here at Holy Saviour when we have such a large Asian community around us, and we just thought it sounded like a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. So we're just very excited about that, really.
Yeah.